Alright guys, today we have the IPV Mini to talk about. Roll that intro please. I know it sucks. Alright guys, so I got the IPV Mini version 2. Don't think I said that in the beginning. It's the version 2. Should be in the title. This is the one that can do 7 to 70 watts. Still holds one battery in there. It's just got a little IPV SX chip in it. And you know what? It works for what it is very well. Got it running on my Arctic right now. It's 60 watts, which on the normal IPV is double. So and it works pretty good. This mod has been, although I have the special edition that no one else can have ever because I tore off the paint on mine, but that's another thing. that's a whole nother issue. Yeah, I've been using this thing as my travel device because it's pretty much like holding the mod while it's still regulated. And the only thing I would see myself upgrading this to is getting myself an SX Mini or an SX Mini M class. And that would be probably my upgrade up to this because I feel like that's a better chip than this guy right here. I have the camera too high, you can't even see it. I'm gonna lower it. You can actually see me holding it. It can chuck some clouds. It really can, but that's the Arctic, and that's another video. I still have no idea what I'm going to do with all the sub-tanks because I did the sub-tank Mini. I never did the Atlantis because fuck it now. It's way too late now to do the Atlantis V1. The V2's out now. But I have an Arctic and I have a Smock VCT, but I think I'm going to do the VCT versus the VCT Pro. I have no idea what I'm doing with those. What we're talking about, the IPV Mini, got to look at it a little bit better because you can't really see any of the numbers on the chips and stuff right now with this kind of screen, so we got to go up close, right? That's what we got to do, so let's do that. Alright, so let's spend a little bit of time up close with this IPV Mini. Now, with mine, the first con I want to say right off the bat is the paint chips off on it crazy, so I just decided to take some sandpaper to it, go a little crazy, and just take it off and just have raw aluminum for mine. And it was actually really easy to do that. I just took an Allen key to these sides, and they're actually not a super small Allen key. It's a standard Allen key, so just took those off and I sanded the crap out of it, and now it looks a little better. Still have some more touch-up parts like down here. I didn't get all of it, and up here I didn't get all of it. So it was black, but it started chipping and showing the aluminum through, so I just got rid of it. But yeah, so that's why mine looks all homemade and junky. So let's get to the basics on this. On this guy, got a 510 floating pin up here. Whole thing's made of aluminum, as I already said. Power fire button right here. It's going to say check atomizer because I got nothing on it. And you can range this guy from... Oh yeah, it has a stupid little settings. I'm going to go over how I hate the settings. But as you can see, and this is only a wattage device. There's no voltage options like there are on the iSticks. Oh, it does 5 watts. My bad. Not 7 to 75 watts to 70 watts. And it can fire down to 0.2 and up to 3 ohms. I think is what it does. But it has 5 little sections. I absolutely hate these. So I honestly would just rather have it just let me do the wattage how I want to. So you got to hit down and then you hit up and you can adjust wherever you feel like. And let's say, oh, I like 20 watts for this, whatever I'm going to put on it, right? And you hit that fire button, and that saves that one. So now you have that as your one. Yeah? Is it going to let me? Or is when I do this? Yep. And that should be whatever one I set it to. Yeah, no, it's not, because it's going to freak out because I don't have something on it. So let's screw something on it because we're going to have to. So let's screw on this Arctic for today. get this guy on here like so. Line up that airflow. All right, so we got this guy. Check battery. What? Of course you're gonna freak out on me right now. Okay. Flipped out for a sec. I have no idea. But this is one thing that I don't like, and I think a lot of people have already said this. You fire it, and you guys can't even really see the screen. You can like barely see it. And that's it, just resting, and it does that. You fire it, and it goes to that. It's not like that's the sleep mode screen. That is the standby screen that you're supposed to be able to see, and you kind of can't until you hit down and you start adjusting, then you can see it. So it's kind of annoying to be like hitting it and you look down at it and you're like, what am I at? And you're like looking at it super close, like, oh, I'm at 60. Okay, you know, it's kind of annoying, and the whole fact of having the 5 sets on this is just stupid. I honestly just hate that design on everything, having those presets. I wish there was a mode that I could go in here while it's locked and do some button combinations to make it so I could turn those settings off and just have it on raw adjusting. That would be an awesome thing, because some people probably do like those presets that you can do, but I am not a fan. I'm just not a fan of that. So I have it at 60 watts. That's pretty much that. Let's show you how you take out the battery. It has a little spot right here that you can turn with your hand, no tool needed. Or instead of taking out a battery and swapping it, you can also charge it mini USB style, and it works great. It doesn't overheat the mod when you do that too. So this guy just unscrews like so, you can see that, and it just pops out like that. The threads are okay. And you just got a little battery here. This one's just a LG, and yeah, so the battery just goes in, positive side in, and then you screw this guy in, and the threads are okay because it's aluminum on chrome plated, maybe aluminum. I have no idea what this part is. I know it's chrome plated. I'm guessing brass. I don't know because the chrome hasn't chipped on it yet. We'll find out once the chrome chips. What it actually, I'm guessing it's probably either chrome plated brass or chrome plated something like aluminum, something cheap. And then this is all aluminum, and I went inside and it's really just the chip is set up and it just goes here and goes there. It's like super simple device, but the chip is nice. The board is a great board, and the button placement's all right. It works pretty good. Thumb fire if it wants to fire. Oh, of course, because it took out the battery, I had to turn it back on. This is also the thing. I'm going to show you. Okay, so it's on right now. I'm going to turn it off, and we're going to see how long it takes for it to turn on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it's not even going to do it. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like 7 seconds, and I'm finally firing. Like, why can't it just, like with the eye sticks here, I got an eye stick right here. Eye stick right here. Turn it off. Turn it on. Turn it off. Turn it on. I don't see why that's not, like, that's amazing. That was like my favorite part about the iStick 50 watt is that when I turn it on, I can fire it right then. Like, I have this thing on right now, and like legit. Okay, so it's sitting in my pocket. I pull it out of my pocket and I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now it's firing right away. So I enjoy that much more than it saying IPV, you know, IPV Mini version 2, Pioneer for you. I really don't. I don't give a shit. I can see your logo on the side here. This is Pioneer for you. I know who it's from because the whole packaging said it. You don't need to tell me on the chip either. And plus, I know it's not a Pioneer for you chip. I know it's an SX chip in there from Yeehee, so shut up. Just stop trying to be like it's your chip when it's not. So that's my rant on that. And the IPv3 did that stupid boot up screen too. But as far as this thing goes with working, it takes forever to turn on, but as far as function, it works great. And as far as it breaking it all, no. As far as aesthetic reasons for this paint that was on here, horrible. Just horrible. So let's pop it out to the original screen and let's vape this guy. So, as you guys saw in the up close, as far as this thing goes is working great and having a great wattage range with only using one battery and being small, this thing does the job pretty good. It does it pretty good, and you don't need a tool to unscrew on here. And then if I'm using a sub tank on it, I don't need a tool for anything really. I can use my hands and just my juice bottle and I'm good to go. That's a cool thing for me. I hate having to use a tool except for when I'm having to rebuild, and I'm cool with, you know, having to rebuild. Of course you're going to need tools for that. So it's really awesome that I can have a setup and I'm not going to need any kind of screwdriver whatsoever for this thing to work. Because I don't need a screwdriver to fill this guy. I don't need a screwdriver to unscrew the battery from here. I can plug it in mini USB. It works up to 70 watts. The battery life is meh because it's only one battery. So honestly, what I get is I'll take this guy to work and I'll come back and my battery's pretty much dead. And that's about a 6 or 7 hour period. So it works freaking pretty good. Like, I'll kill it in about 6 hours easy, but I can swap out the battery super quick, or I can have it on the go in my car. I could pop it in my car charger and be charging it while I'm going places, and then when I get out of the car I can pop it off the charger and keep using it, and I know I have a good amount of battery life. I can keep an extra battery with me and pop that guy in halfway through the day. It's pretty nice because it's not like a huge box like the Sigeli would last me all day, and that's awesome, but the Sigeli is huge. And this is not as huge. It's like a tube mod with a little chipset and buttons on the side is all it is. So, yeah. The paint, they could have done better. And just the threading on taking off this, taking out the battery. I don't know why that was hard to say. The threading for taking out the battery could have been better, but it was made kind of cheap. And I think these things go for, I've seen down to like $60. And I've seen upwards to $100, so it's really not super expensive either, because it's a Pioneer for you. It's not very expensive. And if you want to spend, another $100 and spend $180 to $200 on an SX Mini M Class, then go for it. And I think I might, but I'm still on the fence about it. But yeah, this thing's been working good. The only thing is the button could have been up here and it would have been cool, but the button's down here, so you just kind of got to lower your hand a little more. And I've been comfortably thumb firing it. You can do it left hand style. It works just as fine. Some people would index finger fire it, but that's kind of not that comfortable. So that is the IPV Mini version 2. Yeah, that's all I gotta say. See you guys next time. Hope you liked it. Later. Almost forgot.